In the midst of social distancing and business lockdowns, a freelance writer and a graphic artist bought a bus, converted it into a tiny home on wheels, and moved out of our 4-bedroom house. 1 year later, we downsized to a Chevy Express. Now we travel between Texas and Pennsylvania from April through November while exploring small towns with rich histories. In the winter, we hunker down in Texas in our schoolie and dream of our next big trip.
We're Alan and Teresa.
And we're rolling with our nomies. So we're here in Marion County. We don't have a walking tour.
No, it's the town of Marion.
Yeah, we're in the town of Marion, Marion County, South Carolina. We don't have a walking tour per se, but we do have a little map with some historic buildings here. This town is named, and the county was named after the
swamp.
The swamp fox.
The swamp fox.
If you saw the movie The Patriot, the main character there is patterned after the swamp fox.
And we were
Francis Marion was his name.
We were in Marion County last year when we did McClellanville.
That's correct, yes.
So.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about Francis Marion then. Now we're in the town named after him, and we're just going to walk around and see some of the buildings here and follow us along.
Okay.
So this is the Marion County Courthouse. This is the third building built on this site. The first one was built in 1800. This one was erected in 1853 and cost $12,500. And it was restored in 1970, but I don't think they're using it now. It looks empty, and so they may be doing some more restoration work on it.
Yeah, maybe.
But right now,
it does not look like it's in use.
Yeah, there's no markings or signs or anything on it, so I would say it's not in use. But this is the historic courthouse.
And right next to it is the records office, according to our map.
Yeah.
The records office looks like it could have been something else at one point.
Looks like it could have been a church.
It does look like it might have been a church. But then again, I have been mistaken because they believe in the South in doing things up.
Okay, so this is the Marion County Opera House. It's also an old town hall. It was completed in 1892 with a $10,000 bond issue, which also included an artesian well somewhere here on the vicinity.
I thought the well was out here, but maybe I'm...
Yeah, it's somewhere nearby.
I could be mistaken.
What it says there, so I'm not sure exactly where,
okay.
But it's somewhere around here. And that was a part of the funding. It's also been used for sleeping quarters for their fire department and some other uses, but the main use is Opera House and Old Town Hall.
That's a pretty building.
Yeah, it is, nice building.
And not small by any stretch. You can see how big it is. Okay.
So we're looking at the Marion Presbyterian Church. It was organized in 1852 and dedicated actually in February that year.
It was organized before that.
Yeah, it was organized just before that and then dedicated, and it had 6 charter members, and let's see, 1911 is when they installed the bell, and then 1919 they installed the organ, and then in the 70s they did some renovation on it and enlarged it. But this is pretty much what it looked like, I think, down through history.
It's an absolutely gorgeous building.
It is. I love the columns and the bell tower. It's beautiful.
The fact that there is still a rope to ring that bell on the porch.
Yeah, I wonder if they do that.
I hope so.
Looks like they probably do, since they've got that rope that is readily available.
So we're looking at the Church of the Advent, which is an Anglican church here in Marion, and it was organized in 1867. The cornerstone was laid in 1880. It's a small Gothic structure, originally built of wood and later brick veneered in 1928.
Wow.
That's pretty interesting. The first three young ministers later became bishops.
Awesome. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, very plain, gorgeous church.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so the Marion Public Library was organized and chartered in 1898. It was opened in 4 rooms on the 2nd floor of the Bank of Marion building. One room was designated for the circulation of books to the public. One had to be a member to enter the ladies' reading room or the men's smoking room or the billiard room. They had a billiard room in the library?
Yeah.
And a men's smoking room?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not, I guess. In 1905, the original part of the present building was completed. And Andrew Carnegie contributed $7,500.
His name ain't on it.
His name is not on it, but he gave some money to it.
Well,
You can see the Greek revival influence in the portico and the Ionic columns. It has Union Jack windows that were carefully reproduced in the new addition. It was the 3rd library in South Carolina to employ the Dewey Decimal System of classification. And in 1912 became a part of the Marion School District by act of the state legislature, and taxes were levied for its support. The first tax-supported library in South Carolina.
I wonder if they still had the smoking room at that point.
I don't know, they probably didn't get rid of that until the 80s.
Right.
When
Okay.
smoking became... Alright, so we're looking at the historic Masonic Hall here in Marion, South Carolina. It was erected in 1822 to 23, and the lot was deeded by General Thomas Godbold.
He was pretty important around here.
I guess he was back in those days.
Now, there's a street named after him.
The architectural style shows the influence of Robert Mills. Impressive entrance doors have the original locks and keys. The main floor was framed with gable roof and projecting portico, and the steps, now enclosed, lead from the ground to the main floor. The basement of the lodge was used as a school for many years after the academy burned, and some early church groups worshipped here.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. Alright, so we're looking at the Godbold house, and it's reportedly the oldest house in Marion, South Carolina. An Old Marion Star newspaper reports that the attic wall was built by Thomas Godbold, 1804.
Wow.
The original house had 4 rooms with a large hall dividing on both levels and an attic. In 1864, Margaret, the youngest daughter of General William Evans, received the house with surrounding lands as a wedding present when she married Major S.A. Dunham, CSA. The house was remodeled in the 1870s when bay windows and an upper story to the piazza were added. There's speculation that the house was remodeled again in the 1920s.
Okay.
Yeah, CSA, the Confederate States of America.
Yeah.
Alright, if I don't do this right, then I'm going to be on the bad side of my wife. So y'all bear with me and pray for me. But while you're doing that, don't forget, share us with your friends, like us if you like us if you don't, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. God bless.